All right, guys. So here's there's a lot of stuff going on. As we know, the whole COVID-19 thing going on. Changed a lot of things up, for people and whatnot. And I haven't been able to do my videos as much as I've wanted. But my boss, super cool. He let me take my truck to work. So I have it at work. I'm able to work on it. It's in my bay. I'm able to work on it when we don't have anything to work on, which for a couple weeks it was pretty slow, and I got a lot of stuff done on the truck, which you'll see in this video. This video is going to have a lot of stuff in it, but it's also going to have a lot of progress in it as well. Like, the truck actually, as you'll see later in the video, it actually runs. So I just wanted to shoot a quick intro, kind of explaining, one, why it's taken so long for me to make a video, and two, just kind of explain what all has been happening. I've bought a lot of parts for the truck, and a lot of them have gone in, and I've made really good progress on the truck, and there's more to come in the next week or so. So I just wanted to, just kind of give you all an explanation on what's been going on. The truck's not at the house anymore. It's at the shop, and I work on that during the day when I've got nothing to do, or when we have off time, or like right after work. This freaking cat. Everybody meet Comp, like Comp Cams, because he purrs. Just listen to him. You can't really hear him. Anyways, so that's just kind of what's been going on lately. Is a lot of progress has been made on the truck that has been kind of behind the scenes. I haven't really been able to get it on video, but I promise I will go over the truck with you guys and what all I've done with the truck. Later in this video, I'm going to go over with it. I will shoot a video while I'm at work explaining all the stuff that I've done to it, all the updates, all the things I've had to change, and some of the things I struggled when trying to start the engine. It didn't want to start, so just keep going, or keep watching the build, guys. It's only getting better from here. I've got a lot of cool stuff that you're going to see in this video, so hang tight. What's up, guys? We're back. Here's another update video, but this one's going to be good. It's not only just going to be me talking, it's going to be us working. So what we got going on is I ordered a crap ton of parts. I'll be getting packages and packages, lines, carburetor, all. I got goodies to show you in a moment. I'll go through the whole list. But, guys, the engine's going in the truck, or the engine's going to run this weekend, hopefully. I have a 2-day weekend with lots of parts to install. I've got my whole fuel system here now that I can hopefully install. So this is going to be a fun angle. So we are underneath the truck. We are looking. This is what I am having to deal with. It shouldn't be too bad. So I only got 2 hangers, one here and one down here. And for the most part, it looks like it should come down fairly easy. And I just noticed, I don't know if you can see, there's a mild little crack right there in the tank. So good thing I'm getting rid of this thing. It's big, it's heavy. I don't need this big of a tank, and I need to upgrade my fuel system anyways. So I'll be happy getting rid of this. Main thing is getting rid of this big old bracket. So I gotta figure out how to get rid of that. But that is what I'm working with. All right, guys. So what we got going is I'm airing up all the tires because they were half flat. But I need new tires. But trying to get the truck a little more situated. Today I'm going to be trying to pull out the fuel tank, the old fuel tank, dropping out, getting the old fuel lines out of the way, and then seeing about mocking up my fuel cell. I got a 15-gallon fuel cell, and I'm wanting to put it underneath the bed because I still want a functional bed, kind of, sleeper, in the sense of I don't want a big old fuel cell sitting in my bed that people can mess with. But at the same time, I've got a lot of stuff underneath the back of the bed, so it might make it a little difficult. So I'll be trying to figure that out. But this weekend will be hard wrench time on the truck. A lot of stuff's been going on, a lot of work, a lot of stuff. Y'all probably know about this whole virus thing. It's crazy, but we're hoping and praying that everything goes good. So the goal for this weekend is to get this thing cranked over to run for a little bit. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know how long it'll run for. It won't have any coolant in it, so I don't want it to run for very long. I just would like to hear this thing crank up to life with some oil pressure, because it's been too long. So we're hoping to get that done. But yeah, it's mainly what I got going on. Tired, but finally got this header bolted down all the way. I had to go and get different size head bolts that were smaller heads so I could actually get them to fit, because the stock ones, or not the stock ones, but the ones that came with these headers did not fit. So as you can see, this side only has a couple mocked up just to hold in place when we were trying to make our cuts and whatnot. But this side I'm going to maybe try and do today, if not this weekend if we get done. So, not going to be running any accessories, just going to fire this thing up enough where it can breathe and live. Going to be doing the ignition system and all that, getting the wire harness back in and ready to go there. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Another thing, here's my drive shaft that I got. I can't remember if I told you about it in the video before this one, but here's my drive shaft that I got from a good friend. Picked it up for a good price. All I need is new U-joints front and back. As you know, I have my drive shaft up there, but it was way too long, probably about, 2-3 inches too long. So I'm gonna be taking this new U-joint that I put on, taking it out, putting it in that drive shaft to match to the rear axle, and then I'm going to be getting just a brand new U-joint for the front, and then that will be in and good to go, bolted down and ready. I've got new cooler lines, and I've got fuel line for days, so I'm going to be trying to get that stuff at least ran today and see where I get. Well, as you can see, it's dark and I am dirty as hell, but old fuel tank is out. It's out of there. Old fuel lines, they're out of there, so all that side's freed up. I'll show you what the tank looks like. It's nasty and dirty, and there it is. Really don't need to see much more than that. There's the fuel lines that came out. Really dirty underneath that thing, so that thing's gonna get a undercarriage wash when this thing gets on the road. But I accomplished what I wanted to do today. A little bit of the sad news is I was looking at mounting my new fuel cell. So here it is. This is a 15-gallon aluminum fuel cell from the good old Amazon dash 10 outlets. Dual dash 10 outlets here, dual dash 10 vents. It's got the anti-slosh foam inside. So this is a nice piece. Main thing is it's too big to really fit where I want it to. And I will go under here and show you. Hop on the creeper. So, what's going on under here is, as I took out this little crossbar that goes right here, and I thought maybe I could put it right there. But my issue is that my shocks. If I put the fuel cell there, it butts up right against the shocks. Which one, if the axle were to come back at all, it would hit the fuel cell and could cause, major issues. And two, I wouldn't be able to change my shocks because I wouldn't be able to get the bolts out without dropping the fuel cell. And I really don't want to do that. Another thing is I really don't want to cut this piece out. So this piece is a frame bracket, or a piece of the frame that, is riveted to this side, riveted to that side, but it's for strength. I really don't want to cut into this yet because I don't have the ability to just, weld a new piece in somewhere, which later on down the road I could, which I will, but for now, I think I'm just going to be mounting the fuel cell in the bed, and we'll just do it like that. Put some holes in the bottom here, and then run the fuel line up over there probably, and then run down the fuel, the truck rail, frame rail, whatever that thing is over there. But yeah, so old fuel tank is out. Old fuel line's out. We're getting there. More this weekend coming. Lots of stuff to do. And I'll show you some parts. What's up, guys? We're back. It's another day. Same video. Now I'm going to show you my parts. And there's a lot of them. So I already showed you the fuel cell. It's down there. I didn't want to leave it outside. A lot of essential things, fuel lines, fittings. These are all dash 8 AN lines. Fuel filter. These aren't essential, but I like them. They are to protect the spark plug boots. Keeps them from getting super hot. These are up to 1200 degrees. my, oh, I had to read it upside down. My fuel pump harness relay kit, my fuel pump, my Holly. It is a Holly Blue pump. It is a nice piece. Everyone's telling me that this is a good one. It is 12-volt electric, 14 psi, high pressure, 110 gallons per hour at max flow. So that is going to be more than I need for what this is, but that gives me, a little bit more room to grow if I need to. And my cat is running wild. So another thing we got. This is 1/2-inch fuel line, hard line. It's aluminum line, so I can run it from the fuel cell in the back up the fuel rail up the side. That way I don't have to worry about buying expensive braided line. I will connect those as we go. We got some radiator hoses here. We've got another box here. I've got to remember what this is. More hose. So running from the tank to the fuel pump will be braided. And then fuel pump to hardline underneath the truck. Because, as I said, the fuel cell is going in the bed. So fuel cell to pump to underneath the hardline up. And then hardline to fuel pressure regulator to my carburetor. So we got all that figured out, I think. And then my carburetor. My carburetor's in this box right here. And I'm going to show you guys it real quick. Guys, isn't this the prettiest freaking carburetor you've ever laid your eyes on? This is a Holley series. It looks very obviously similar to a Holley. A lot of Holley parts will fit on this. This is their Brawler series. This is a 650 mechanical secondary with electric choke 4-barrel carburetor. And this thing is freaking awesome looking. I can't believe this is that good looking. And it's just a carburetor, but man, this is a good looking carburetor. As you can see, I have my fuel log here. So this is from Jegs. This is their dual -8 feed line fuel log is what they call it. I picked that up, and it's got a spot for inline fuel pressure. Oh, it's on the bottom, so I might have to see if I can flip that. But, so, this is the topper on the cake, and it looks gorgeous. Comes with its own install kit and whatnot. I have brand spanking new Melodon intake manifold bolts. And I've got more stuff in the car. I've got my drive shaft with new U-joints. I've got my, excuse me, Corona. I've got oil in the car. Oil in the car, filter, just all kinds of stuff to maybe try and get this truck to run this weekend. So we will see. So, what's on the agenda for today with the truck? I want it to at least start. It's asking a lot because there's a long way to go. I have to do the entire wiring system, the entire fuel system, literally everything. So it's going to be a challenge, but I accept the challenge. Got some friends coming over to help me. We should be close. We might just, mount the carburetor on it, get, the oil pumped up and everything, and then just fire it up with some fuel in the carb. Just to hear it crackle to life. Who knows? So, it's kind of where we're at with this. But yeah. So, let's get to it. If I could describe today in one word, it would be defeat. Today we wrenched hard. Well, as hard as we could, honestly, without knowing what we were doing. So, as you can see behind me, the carburetor's bolted up, the intake manifold's bolted down. I got my oil pressure gauge in. I spun the engine up. 50 pounds of oil pressure, good to go. Oil came up top beautifully. Bolted the manifold down, bolted the carburetor on, and we were trying to figure out the fuel system. I've got AN lines with soft lines and hard lines, so it's kind of a mix between both, and running the Holley pump and an aftermarket fuel filter and the Holley regulator, not knowing where to put stuff or how to mount things or what would be the best way to route things, and not really knowing how to connect the AN lines to the hard line and soft line, or how to cut the soft line, which I need to do my research and really figure out what to do. So I'm just going to show you around what we did to the truck so far today. and what we got going on. Parts everywhere, but what we got going on is we just had to rig up the cables real quick. We were trying to start the engine up. I've got an old set of spark plug wires on. We were just trying to get this engine to turn over. We just capped off the transmission cooler lines. We got the carb bolted down, and I mean, if I do say so, that carb looks absolutely amazing. But what we ran into is the starter is not lining up on the starter gear. We tried clicking it, and our issue is the teeth on the starter are too big. So this engine will not turn over. But just honestly, a lot of stuff didn't fit, and now I'm kind of to the point where I need to, you know, get more parts. My spark plug wires that I got from Summit, they do not fit, so I'm kind of annoyed there. The nipples are too big to fit on these smaller nipples for the spark distributor cap. So that, and then the coil wire, the nut is just spinning on the coil, so it's stuck on there. It won't come off. It won't loosen or tighten. I did get the harness back in and somewhat ran. Tried to clean up a little bit. I do finally have oil in the engine, like I said, and there is transmission fluid in the transmission, but we just couldn't figure it out. But we also did get the fuel cell mounted. So if you look down in here, you can see there's the hard line. There's the hard line right there in between those two wires. We got kind of the hard line kind of ran to the point where it might actually work, but we got our fuel cell mounted up. Looks a little redneck, but it'll work. And so mainly it's just figuring out how to mount things and whatnot. But that's where we're at today. I'm gonna try and do more work tomorrow, but mainly my goal for tomorrow is to do research on how to set up fuel systems. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. I do want to do a huge thank you to my buddies. They really helped me out a lot today with just trying to figure out how to do stuff. And none of us have done any of this stuff before, so all this stuff is new to us. We trying to just figure things out, and it's challenging when you don't know what you're doing. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Didn't get to really videotape today much. Just trying to really focus on working on the truck, but there's just so much going on. And, you know, getting lost. So that's where we're at for day 2. I did get the drive shaft in, so there's that. But yeah, but more work to come tomorrow and in the weeks to come. But at least I'm a lot closer than what I was. I still have to figure out the whole alternator issue, so I'm kind of stuck. I'm trying to get in touch with some people that one guy who does this stuff really well. He builds vehicles a lot, and then another guy, a local guy who I got the tires from actually on this truck. The way he set his up, so it's really just trying to figure out how to do things and what to do. So I'm kind of bummed, to be honest. I really am bummed. You could probably tell that in my voice, but I'm actually kind of happy though at that you know the progress that we've made, and especially how good it looks. So that's where we're at. What's up, guys? So the scene before that, you could tell that I was defeated, and that day had sucked. It didn't get as far as we really wanted to, and then I found out some things that I thought weren't right. So a lot of crazy stuff going on, me not knowing how to use fitting or how to tighten down certain fittings and compression fittings and all this kind of stuff that I really don't know exactly how to do. Luckily, good friends and family, we made it through it. So what you did know is we tried to start it over, or turn it over. The starter was wrong. Ordered a new starter, got it, put it in. And she fires up. She starts. It runs great. I mean, I'm actually, honestly, surprised on how well it runs. So, good news there is it runs, or it turns over really well. I am missing a couple grounds. I'm going to show you a little clip of the engine turning over. You'll see the battery cable smoke a little bit. I don't have all my grounds. I just really wanted to see it turn over. So I got it turned over. It turns over good. And now what I'm going to show you is what my dad and my brother helped me with the fuel system. So as you know, I got that 15-gallon fuel cell, and it is mounted in the bed, and I actually have my fuel lines ran. So as you can see, here's my dash 8 lines coming out of the tank, goes around to the side. I'm all mounted up, spaced up off the bed floor. And here is my inline fuel, oh, can't see it, inline fuel pump, or inline fuel filter and fuel pump. And then my lines drop down underneath the truck. The line runs into a hard line, and it runs all the way up front. Let me show you. As you can see, it pops up by the carburetor on the back of the firewall. So what my goal is to cut this, put my fitting down here, mount it to my fuel pressure regulator, and then mount my fuel pressure regulator straight to my fuel log for my carburetor. So I need to cut that, do my fitting and whatnot. And that's going to be a fun one to get to because it's kind of in a tight spot. And I just got in, I ordered it, the fuel, or heat shielding, just slide because it goes over the top of the exhaust, and I don't want the fuel to burn or boil. So another thing is I got my oil pressure gauge. We cranked this thing up, and I got 50 pounds of oil pressure like that. So this oil pump, melting, running like a dream. So do not mind the mess, guys. Mind the mess and all the craziness. Trust me, it's gonna be a lot cleaner. It's gonna give me some time. But another thing, so I had 2 steel wires off my brother's old Durango. As you can see, these are Magnum. Well, I don't know if you know they're not, but these are Magnum spark plug wires. And what I had are these big style, old school. Well, my cap on my distributor is the nipple style. I needed this style. Hold style, where it goes inside of it. I got this picked up yesterday, actually this past weekend, and it was brown, so I had to spray paint it black, otherwise it would not have looked good in the engine bay. But so that was another missing piece of the puzzle. So now I can run the wires over the engine. But that was another thing. Like I don't have any spark plugs. So I've got that. So this weekend, this is gonna be a drawn out video. But this weekend I'm gonna try and actually get it to fire up with fuel. I'm gonna try and complete the fuel system and have it to where the fuel is coming up to the carburetor, so I can start it and let it run for a little bit. Don't get me wrong, cooling system's still not there yet. But it's not going to be running for that long. So just to kind of let you guys know and see, where we're going on with that. I do need to paint my thermostat housing and get this stuff cleaned up a little bit. But guys, we're getting there. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. I'm going to be running my switches and my wires. And I've got a lot of stuff to do, but we're getting there. We're getting there. That's all I can say. So this weekend, more stuff will be happening, and I'll make sure to get that on video for you guys.
Just turn.
Mm-hmm. Alright guys, so a lot of stuff has been going on. This whole, coronavirus thing going on made work slow, but I have a super cool boss. He let me bring the truck up to the shop to work on it while there was nothing else to do. And some days we had nothing to do, so therefore I've made a ton of progress on the truck, and I'm about to show you all that now. So we have it wired in here. I've wired in my relay panel for my fuel pump starter and all that. So all that is functioning, all checked, and the power is ran all the way back to the fuel pump. Don't mind this messy wires. This was all just testing stuff, but fuel pump is functional and running. As you can see there, we are fully in, and it goes underneath the truck, and then it comes all the way up to my switches that are installed and the gauge. Got this fuse block. We're connected to the battery. Runs all into the truck. Ignition's all done. Gauges mounted and switch panel. Hold up. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Oh, Tim, you're in park, right?
Yeah.
To make sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold up. All right, guys, what is up? So this is gonna have to be a two-part video because there's just so much information, so much going on. So this is gonna end out the video that you just watched, and then the next video will start. So we'll see you guys in the next video, which I'm starting right now.